Okay, Tottenham Hotspur are currently sitting in 13th in the Premier League. Let's just say it's been a very rough season for Spurs. For many possible reasons, it's just been a hugely disappointing season. And the question now is, where do Spurs go from here? Well, I guess that's where I come in, because in a meeting with Tottenham chairman Daniel Levy and also Ange Postecoglou, I told them getting Spurs back in the top 4, back in the Champions League, it's not going to be easy, but I have some ideas that I think will get you there. So after a couple hours passed by me, presenting my rough ideas, Daniel Levy says I'm pretty desperate here, so I'm giving you a chance. Spurs then presented us with a 5-year contract to be sporting director of Tottenham. I signed the contract, and this Spurs rebuild begins, but we only have 5 years to do this. If we don't get Spurs back at the top after 5 years, then I am just done. I am fired. So this currently is the Spurs team we start with. Now, one of the big differences here, though, compared to real life, is the team is healthy. We're getting a little nice reset here. We start this rebuild at the back at the beginning of the season, so summer of 2024, Spurs have a second chance at life, at least for this season. So the squad is fully healthy, but it still needs a lot of work, especially if we want to lift that Champions League trophy. Now, for this first season, Daniel Levy has given me 140 million in the budget, but he told me, though, to not spend it all. He told me to spend it wisely. Now, first things first, we're going to try to loan out some of the younger players so they can grow, and then I am going to try to sell Bissouma and Richarlison. I feel like those players we can cash in on. We don't really need them anymore. We also have Matthias Tell on loan from Bayern Munich, like real life. So I like my strikers currently. I like my wingers. I like my defense. I think right now the midfield is the issue, because Madison, I don't see him as a box-to-box center mid. I don't see that in him. I think him and Kulusevski can fight for that starting cam spot in this 4-3-3 attack. I like Sara at CDM. So I think in this first year, what we need is a new box-to-box midfielder. That's like the first move we should make. And I know the exact player I want to bring to Spurs, and that is, he's a midfielder from AC Milan. Tijani Reinders is going to be our first signing of the rebuild. So for 72 million, we've bought him from AC Milan, and he's going to be our new starting number 8, basically. So first deal completed. In this game, he's an insanely good midfielder. So he's going to take that, box-to-box spot. Kulusevski at cam. I think that balances out our midfield a lot, because he can also play CDM too. So he's a true box-to-box. I think for our first window, that's going to be our only signing. Because while I do think we need to bring in players, I also want some players to, develop in skill this year, get their stats up. So that's going to be our only pickup of the summer. And along with that, we sold Bissouma to PSG, sold Richarlison to Manchester United. And then we also loaned out Archie Gray, Mikey Moore, and also Wilson Odobert. So for this window, that's our, business done. My hope in season 1 is with a fully healthy team, hopefully not many injuries, and we can at least finish top 6. I don't know if I'm expecting a top 4 finish, but I do not want to be in 13th like in real life. All right, so as officially the season gets underway, this rebuild officially starts. I'll say this, it was a very interesting first half of the season. Our captain, Son, has still played amazing. He scored 13 goals in 27 games. Even at 32 years old, he's still playing like at a high level. Now behind him, Brennan Johnson has emerged as a true star in this team, I think. On the right wing, he feels like our next Gareth Bale, scoring 12 goals already this year. Now at striker, Dominic Solanke only scored 6 goals, so a little disappointing. And then for our new player, Reinders, he only scored 1 goal, but he also contributed about 5 assists. And being a workhorse in the middle of the field, he's doing his job pretty well. And now for the interesting part for this first half of the season. It's not really the stats, it's our current league position. So halfway through the year, we are sitting in second place, but somehow Newcastle are in first and Liverpool are all the way down in 11th. So I don't know what has happened this season. This is one of the weirdest Premier League tables like halfway through a year I've ever seen, but I'm not going to be mad about us in second. I'm not mad about that. And we got to remind ourselves that we're still a loss away from going down to 6. Like 2 through 6 is so tight, only separated by 3 points. But I would say so far it's been a very positive first half of this rebuild. I guess half of the first season. I mean, players are growing. Like Brennan Johnson's already up to 82. He's grown. Sar's up to 81. Center backs are growing. Udogie and Pedro Porro, man, that looks like a good back line right there. Udogie, Van de Ven, Romero, and Porro all around 84, 85. If I think the holes in this team still, I feel like the midfield still, maybe CDM. If Sar doesn't grow, that's going to be a hole. Then also at striker, I think Son and Johnson can lock it down on the wings, but with Solanke only scoring 6 goals, is that enough for us? So the question now is, do we do any business in January? I mean, we have still 125 million. Do we do something to try to ensure we finish in the top 4 this year? I think if we were in a lower position in the league, I would probably just stay put and not make any transfers. But with us being in second place and a real chance to get in the top 4 for next year, Champions League, I think we got to pull the trigger right now on a player. And you might have seen it. That player is going to be Jonathan David. I think him in a front 3 with Brennan Johnson and Son, that could be a lethal front 3 in the Premier League. So we spent about 60 million on Jonathan David, and we might have our new starting striker in this team now. So second signing of the rebuild is now officially in. I think Solanke is much more well suited for a backup role in this team. So Matthias Tell has gone back to Bayern. Solanke is going to be the backup striker, and then David's going to be our new starter alongside Johnson Johnson and Son. I mean, we've only made 2 signings, but the team already looks so much better. It's crazy what just being healthy can do for you, huh? But okay, Jonathan David signed up. Now we're second in the Prem, but we're also in the Europa League this year. So how are we doing in the Europa League? First, FA Cup, we are currently still in round 3. Carabao Cup, we're not in the semifinals. We got knocked out when? We got knocked out in round 3 versus Newcastle. But now the Europa League, we finished in 9th in the Europa League. Okay, that's not great, but I guess it could be a lot worse. So we should play in that playoff round before the round of 16. Okay, so we actually won our final 2 Europa League, I guess, league phase matches. So instead, we now finish in 3rd. So that's much better. We skipped the playoff round. So round of 16, we now face Braga. I mean, top 4 is mainly our goal this year, but I'd love to win the Europa League. It could be another way to get Champions League football. So round of 16 first leg is gonna be a 2-0 loss versus Braga. Boys, that is the worst possible first leg. How do we just lose to Braga 2-0? I can't believe it actually, bro. So now second leg is gonna be a 1-1 draw and we're knocked out. That is such a poor showing in the Europa League. That is pathetic. All right, so Europa League done. All we gotta focus now on is just the Premier League and FA Cup, I think. Oh, that was embarrassing though. All right, so we now have made it to the end of season 1. So after getting knocked out of the Europa League, do we finish at least in the top 4? As we scroll up, Spurs are gonna finish in 4th place. Okay. Now Man City made a comeback and won the Prem title over Newcastle. That's insane. But Spurs finish in a top 4 spot. Now Chelsea in 5th, that kind of worries me because they're in the Conference League, which they're probably gonna win that. That doesn't affect whether we get Champions League or not, right? I don't know, but FA Cup, did we win that? We are gonna, okay, Villa won it 2-1. We lost in the quarterfinals versus Villa 4-3. Carabao Cup went to Man United. Champions League goes to Bayern. Europa League, Porto, and then Conference League does go to Chelsea. Now, does that affect us getting Champions League? I don't know. Why do I feel like it does? I guess we'll find out. But for season 1, a 4th place finish is not bad. So final stats in the year: Son scored 31 and 6, Johnson 24 and 10, Solanke up to 12, Madison 8, David 6 in his first 15 games. And Johnson and Son are the 2 stars of the team though. With Son aging, 32, 33 years old, this team might turn into Brendan Johnson's team. But okay, into season 2, now we go. All right, confirmation though, despite Chelsea winning the Conference League, we actually are in the Champions League this year. I think if it was the Europa League, if they won the Europa League, then we would have gotten Europa League football, right? They would have taken that Champions League spot. I don't know, but season 2, we are back in the Champions League. So that makes it a very nice first year. Now for season 2, we have in the budget 227 million. So Daniel Levy has given us a lot of money to work with. Just now, what does this team need? Now first things first, we've already lost a player. Madison has actually left the club. He signed for Real Madrid on a pre-contract, so that means that Kulishevsky is now by far the undisputed starting cam. Now I want to be honest, like the team is looking solid here. I think maybe like a new CDM could really take this team to another level over Sar. Well, the defense looks great. Everyone's 86 rated at least. I'm kind of worried about Son aging, if he starts going down in overall, but I think for now he's still good. So we really need just the CDM and then let some of these players just flourish in the team. So I think the CDM that makes sense for this team to be our new number 6, our starting number 6. He plays for Juventus. Well, I guess actually not any longer. That player is Locatelli. I mean, 27 years old. He's currently 84 rated in this save. He really fits like the timeline of players like Reinders, Brendan Johnson. So Locatelli, welcome to Spurs. Now we paid 81.6 million for him, so it was a lot of money, but I think it was well worth it. So he slots in the midfield alongside Reinders now. And I mean, with that pickup, I feel like we're already ready for season 2. Those players we loaned out are back, like Archie Gray, Mikey Moore, Odebear. They're back to bolster the bench. So after finishing in 4th place last year, our goal should be to finish top 4 again, just remain in the Champions League, and then see if we can go on, maybe a surprise run in the Champions League. All right, so season 2 is underway, year 2 of this 5-year rebuild. Now the first year went better than expected. What is in store for us for year 2? Now what we found out is that Son is a special player. We already knew he was special, but he's still doing his thing at now 33 years old. Halfway through the year, he already has 22 goals scored. And then behind him, this is kind of surprising, Dominic Solanke actually is our 2nd highest scorer with 16. So he's actually won the starting spot over Jonathan David. I was not expecting that. And then behind him, Brendan Johnson has 11 goals, 7 assists. Kind of a down year compared to season 1, but he's still doing his thing. And then our new starting CDM Locatelli, he's really locking down the midfield for us. And he's growing at like an exponential rate here. Locatelli is already up to now 87 rated. So that's insane. Like Son's up to 86. He's keeping his overall somehow. Solanke's 84, Johnson 85. By looking at overalls, this team actually looks amazing now. The real question is, where are we in the Premier League table and how are we doing in the Champions League? So Premier League table, we are sitting in 1st place. 23 games in, a 5-point lead over the previous champions, Man City. I mean, at least this year, the top 5 looks normal, Liverpool, Arsenal in there, but we currently sit in 1st. Now, I believe we got knocked out in the FA Cup by Spurs 2-1. So we're out of the FA Cup. Carabao Cup, we also got knocked out, this time by Newcastle on penalties. And now as for the Champions League, in our first year back, we finished 6th in the league. Now that is a very, very solid finish. I think what we're learning here is Spurs already have a very good defense when they're healthy. Like the back line of Vicario, that's such a good defense. Truly really the biggest holes are really in the midfield. Ryan Deers and Locatelli have come in, they've grown, they've excelled in the team, and have turned this team into maybe a Premier League contender. So I think since we're doing so good right now, there's no reason to change anything. You know, Daniel Levy's gonna like this, but I'm gonna save all our budget for next season, and we're gonna push forward this year with the same exact team. So no changes in January. All right, so it's time for our first ever Champions League knockout round of this video. Round of 16, we have been drawn Stuttgart. I mean, a team that we honestly should beat. So first leg is going to be a 2-1 win. All right, not as big as the lead I wanted, but that's still a lead, so I'll take it. And now to reach the Champions League quarterfinals, we beat Stuttgart 2-1. Courtesy of goals from Son and Kulishevsky, and we beat them 4-2 on aggregate. Oh man, so now quarterfinals, we're going to face our biggest test yet. We have PSG in the quarterfinals. I mean, I'm not sure if we're ready to win the Champions League here in year 2, but I think we have a chance to at least win Spurs' first trophy in so long, the Premier League. But let's see what we can do versus PSG. Let's see. So first leg is gonna be a 2-0 win. Okay, Brennan Johnson and Solanke score. So 2-0 lead heading into the second leg. I mean, is there a chance we could win the Champions League in only 2 years? So 2-goal lead. If we lose this, I might actually cry. Second leg is gonna be a 1-0 win courtesy of Dominic Solanke, and that's a 3-0 win on aggregate. So into now the Champions League semis. Oh man, but in the semifinals, we now face Real Madrid. So yeah, by far the biggest test we faced. Milan, Barcelona, other side. I mean, how does our team match up to Real Madrid? If we look at their team right now, it's pretty much the same Real Madrid you expect, you know, plus Hakimi. I mean, they're a 5-star team. Our team is currently a 5-star team, but we are a little bit worse. I think we have the players though, like the overalls, the ratings, that we could challenge Real Madrid here. So first leg in Madrid is gonna be, it's gonna be a 2-0 loss. Is the run gonna end here, bro? This run was so special. Why'd we go Mbappe score? So 2-0 down now. Bro, if we come back versus Real Madrid here, it'd be one of the greatest Champions League comebacks I've ever seen, especially because we're facing Real Madrid. It's a sim game. So 2-0 down at home though. This game is gonna be, it's gonna be a 3-0 win. Are you kidding me? Bro, we just made a 3-0 comeback at home. Reindeers, Locatelli, and then Reindeers in the 88th minute. 2 new signings scored all 3 goals for us, and we have somehow beaten Real Madrid and made a comeback. Bro, they had more possession, more shots, but we scored all 3 of our shots, and Reindeers scored the winner. But with that, we are now through to the Champions League final, and we're gonna be facing Barcelona. I cannot believe what I've just seen. Like, bro, they're gonna promote me to like president of the club after 2 years. A 5-year rebuild has been shortened to a 2-year rebuild. Honestly, if it tells me anything, it's that Spurs in real life should have some patience. You know, you have some good players, you have a good coach. Don't make any drastic decisions. Just give Ange some time, you know, get some players healthy, and you can have a chance. But okay, we have the Champions League final to play next. But first, let's see how our season actually ended. So in the Premier League, Spurs are gonna finish in first place. We won the Premier League title by only 1 point over Chelsea. Spurs have won a trophy. It's an actual miracle. It's either a miracle or a sign of an apocalyptic event incoming. But okay, season 2, year 2, Premier League champions. FA Cup goes to Man City. Carabao Cup goes to West Ham. But next up, Champions League final, Barca versus Tottenham. Man, this is a great chance to win the Champions League because Son, I mean, he has to be towards the peak of his rating. Like, he's not going to go up from 86, right? So this might be his last chance to win the Champions League in his prime. But man, truly, all we've done is added Reindeers and Locatelli and then kept players healthy, and that has made this team a Champions League contender. I thought Jonathan David would be the starting striker of this team, but he's not growing while Solanke's grown and become the actual starter. Like, Solanke, I'm sorry I ever doubted you. But okay, this team is ready to go for a Champions League trophy now. The last time they were here, they lost to Liverpool, as we know. Now, Barcelona currently have a team that looks pretty similar to in real life. Yeah, really similar. Plus Romeu. Still got Pedri, Rafinha, Lamine Yamal in there. And I'll be honest, I feel like our team might be a little bit better than theirs. So Champions League final, we get a chance here to finish this 5-year rebuild in only 2 years if we can win this Champions League final. So a Champions League final in a Schalke stadium. So we're in Germany facing a very good Barca team, but man, our team, I feel like we have a good chance in this game. Otherwise, the rebuild will be extended by probably at least 2 more seasons. Like I said, I feel like Son probably is going to start dropping overall pretty quickly. This might be his last chance for a Champions League trophy as a starter. So we're going to see what the boys can do this game. So is this team ready to win a Champions League final? We're about to find out, I guess. Now, this Barca team looks good, but our team also looks as good, I think. It might be an even matchup. Now, this start is a little bit concerning. Okay, we just took out Lewandowski with a WWE move. I'm not even sure what I just saw right there. Okay, interesting start to this this Champions League final. Now Reindeers, good ball to Son, over to Udogie. Udogie gonna feed it over the top. Now Son is gonna break away. I think he is. Cross over to Solanke. Solanke goes for a scorpion kick, and it's gonna be a save. That could have been amazing. That might have been one of the best Champions League final goals of all time. Photo over to Kulishevsky, being a half winger out here. You know, he likes to drift wide. Him and Brennan Johnson like to kind of switch places. Now Kulishevsky Back to Brennan Johnson. Shot. It's going to be saved by Allison, though. Okay, Poto, that's a great steal. Johnson over the middle to Reinders. Now he's going to run a little bit. Johnson also making a run, but oh, that ball should have been so much better to him, though. Van de Ven over to Locatelli. Johnson. Okay, hold up. Don't make that run. Go to Poto instead. Poto. Oh, that's a great ball to Solanke. Solanke in front of the goal, and that's going to be 1-0 to Spurs. What a pass from Poto to Solanke. And Solanke might be the surprise of the video. I thought he'd really be just like a backup striker, but he's turned into now a starter. And this pass was fired in. It was kind of meant for Kulishevsky, actually, but Solanke takes it down. He gets the shot away. And with that, it's 1-0 to Spurs, 32 minutes in. Okay, we've had a solid start here, a solid start. Now Ansu is looking to make that start. Horrible, though. Lewandowski turns. Danny Olmo looking for a shot. Van de Ven, that is good defending, though. Desperate, but it works. Now Solanke, great ball to Kulishevsky. We could be in again here. Kulishevsky running the length of the pitch, goes for the shot, and he is gonna hit the crossbar, of course. Oh man, I want that shot back, bro. I put too much power on it, just a little bit more. Son into Reinders. Reinders needs to turn. Great turn there into Kulishevsky. Johnson to Solanke. Swing this around. Goes to Son, our captain, and his shot is gonna go wide, though. Might have one more chance for halftime. Brennan Johnson looking for a better shot. Goes over to Son again. Son, okay, hold up, Son. Being patient. Swings it back. Over to Kulishevsky on his right foot, and he is gonna hit the post. You've got to be kidding me. How many great chances did we just create there? We only have 1 goal to show for it? Bro, I can't believe it. Like, we should have at least 2 goals right now. Instead, just 1, and Barca are still in this. Udogie, Kulishevsky through to Dominic. Solanke shot, and what a powerful finish for 2-0. I was so wrong about Mr. Dominic Solanke, bro. He has 2 in a Champions League final, and our lead is rightfully so extended. And Barca have just not been too threatening in this game so far. They started off threatening, but since then they have not been. Now, hopefully I didn't just jinx it, though. That'd be bad. Yamal coming through here, but okay, I trust Udogie versus Yamal. I trust that matchup. Lewandowski gets to it, falls to Ansu, back heel. Lewandowski shot. Vicario, that is a huge save. That was their chance to get back in this now. Okay, that pass was rushed. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, everyone relax here. Let's just reset. Let's reset. Steal the ball back. Nope, that's not a steal. Ansu, Lewandowski. Oh, Van de Ven. No, what was that? Oh my. That shot goes wide. Van de Ven could only get a touch to it there. All right, 63rd minute. We are playing with fire. Son, over to Udogie. Reinders is making a great run. I see you. Reinders is going to go for a cross, but it's cleared. Not done yet. Son. Chance for a finesse. Oh, that just fell to him so kindly. Solanke turns. Solanke shot, and he just hit the crossbar, bro. That could have been a hat trick in a Champions League final for Dominic Solanke. And that definitely would have sealed this trophy for us. Johnson, Locatelli. Oh, Solanke was in there again. He was in again. Just can't find him. Okay, Barca look off the pace right now, so it looks a good chance to seal it. Son, chance here in the box. Son, our captain, shoots, and he's gonna miss again, bro. That is so unlucky. How have we not sealed this by now? Now, they have 8 minutes to score 2 goals. I feel like the amount of times I've lost a 2-goal lead with only 10 minutes to go is not that often, so I'm pretty confident here. Poto blocks it. Clearance goes to Johnson, and we can break away here. We might have done enough here to beat Barcelona. We might have done enough. Oh, that's a bad steal, though. Oh, relax. Hey, Lookman. Watching the Yamal. Lookman goes to him instead. Van de Ven, that is expert defending, though. So 20 seconds left of regular time. Cross in, cleared by Poto, cleared again by Reinders. And that is going to be full time. So it only takes 2 goals to beat Barcelona. And it also only takes us 2 years to make Spurs the best team in the world. So it was supposed to be a 5-year rebuild has turned into a 2-year rebuild. I mean, once again, this tells me that this team has a very solid foundation. I mean, at least in FC, but you keep Ange, you get players healthy, you bring in a few midfielders, and that could be enough to get Spurs to save their club. But Son is gonna lift the Champions League trophy for Tottenham Hotspur, and our Spurs rebuild is now complete. If you enjoyed this rebuild, then drop a like, I'd appreciate it. And on screen is a video that you might like too.